各位听众您好，这里是 iGo News， 欢迎收听美国晚间新闻会诊，狐狸台观点。
Hello there, this is iGo News. Welcome to our U.S. Nightly News Summary from a Holy Channel perspective.
晚上好，欢迎收看。
Good evening, everyone, and welcome.
现在，让我们进入这场记忆中最激烈的选举季之一——指控、争议和失误迅速堆积。
Now, let's jump into what's turning out to be one of the most heated election seasons in recent memory. One where accusations, controversies, and gaffes are piling up fast.
在这场最新风暴的中心，正是前总统唐纳德·特朗普。他再次以不寻常的方式成为公众焦点，这次是站在垃圾车上。
At the center of this latest whirlwind is none other than former President Donald Trump, who has once again seized the public spotlight in an unconventional way, this time on the back of a garbage truck.
没错，特朗普以大胆的竞选手段闻名，他将拜登最近对特朗普支持者的评论转化为最新的竞选象征。
That's right, Trump, known for his bold campaign moves, has turned Biden's recent comments about Trump supporters into his latest campaign symbol.
让我们来分解事情的起因。
Let's break down how this started.
在一次集会上，总统乔拜登发表了一番震撼政治界的言论。
During a rally, President Joe Biden made a remark that sent shockwaves through the political world.
拜登表示，特朗普的支持者或者他们散播的垃圾不符合他对一个团结的美国的看法。
Biden stated that Trump supporters, or the garbage they spew, were not aligned with his view of a united America.
就这样，2016年可悲之人的评论以新形式重现，拜登的评论立即引发批评，特朗普抓住机会将此转化为他支持者的号召。
And just like that, the deplorables comment from 2016 resurfaced in a new form, and Biden's comment immediately drew criticism, with Trump jumping at the opportunity to turn this into a rallying cry for his supporters.
特朗普已出现在装饰有美国国旗和竞选标志 MAGA 的垃圾车上回应，象征着拜登的侮辱无法动摇他和他的支持者。
Trump responded by appearing in a garbage truck adorned with American flags and the campaign's now iconic MAGA branding, symbolizing that Biden's insult won't deter him or his supporters.
通过这一简单但象征性的照片时刻，特朗普传达了一个讯息，是那些每天辛勤工作、流汗、服务这个国家的普通人，拜登刚刚轻视的人，让美国继续运转。
With a simple but symbolic photo op, Trump sent a message. It's those who work, sweat, and serve this country daily, the very people Biden just slighted, who keep America moving.
现在很明显，拜登、哈里斯竞选活动的最后几天将被这一评论所笼罩。
It's become clear that the final days of the Biden-Harris campaign will be overshadowed by this comment.
特朗普将这一侮辱带给那些到场、纳税、养家和建设美国各地社区的选民。
Trump has taken the insult to the voters who show up, pay taxes, raise families, and build communities across America.
对他们而言，拜登的言论触及了他们内心深处，直击民主党经常误解的这些社区的核心。
To them, Biden's remark cuts deep, hitting at the heart of what the Democrats often misunderstand about these communities.
拜登的辩护者迅速行动以控制影响。白宫发言人坚称拜登的话被断章取义，并不是在称所有特朗普支持者为垃圾，而只是指某些极端分子。
Biden's defenders scrambled to contain the fallout, with White House spokespersons insisting Biden's words were taken out of context and that he wasn't calling all Trump supporters garbage, just certain extremist elements.
但对于许多选民来说，这种解释听起来空洞无力。
But for many voters, that clarification rings hollow.
这对民主党来说是熟悉的情况。
This is familiar territory for Democrats.
希拉里·克林顿在2016年提出的可悲之人评论在美国人中引起共鸣，象征了精英对普通选民的鄙视。
Hillary Clinton's basket of deplorables comment in 2016 resonated with Americans as emblematic of what they felt was elite disdain for the everyday voter.
在许多政治专家看来，这一评论成为那些感到被民主党精英疏远的选民的爆发点。
That comment, in the eyes of many political experts, became a flashpoint for a backlash among voters who felt alienated by Democratic elites.
许多美国人觉得民主党再次脱离了那些秉持传统美国价值并重视经济、工作、安全和基本自由的选民。
Many Americans feel that the Democrats are once again out of touch with those who hold traditional American values and who prioritize issues like the economy, jobs, security, and basic freedoms.
现在，在现代历史上可能最具关键性的选举前夕，拜登被指控犯下了类似的错误。
Now Biden, on the eve of what could be one of the most pivotal elections in modern history, is being accused of committing a similar blunder.
但让我们退一步看看更广泛的情况。
But let's step back and look at the broader picture.
拜登的言论反映了他竞选的心态吗？
What does Biden's remark tell us about the mindset of his campaign?
很明显，民主党的策略更多是通过恐惧、谩骂和分裂言辞来动员基本盘，而非用想法和解决方案来赢得味觉选民。
It's clear that the Democrat strategy is less about winning over undecided voters with ideas and solutions than it is about mobilizing their base through fear, name-calling, and divisive rhetoric.
如同副总统哈里斯在竞选图中一再强调的那样，拜登的言辞现在将这次选举描绘成民主与威权、包容与排斥的二元选择。
As Vice President Harris has repeatedly done on the campaign trail, Biden's rhetoric now paints this election as a binary choice between democracy and authoritarianism, tolerance and intolerance.
但称特朗普支持者为垃圾，拜登不仅可能疏远特朗普的核心支持者，
But by calling out Trump supporters as garbage, Biden risks turning away more than just Trump's core base.
也可能疏远那些不喜欢这种负面言辞的独立选民和味觉选民。
He risks alienating the independents and undecideds who don't respond well to this type of negative messaging.
当拜登和哈里斯试图将特朗普描绘成对民主的威胁时，他们无意中将自己描绘成对美国人面临的真实关切脱节。
While Biden and Harris try to frame Trump as an authoritarian threat to democracy, they are unintentionally framing themselves as out of touch with the real, pressing concerns that Americans face.
另一方面，特朗普则以支持刚被拜登轻视的普通人为竞选讯息。
Trump, on the other hand, is running on a message that champions the very people Biden just disparaged.
他出现在小镇餐厅、快餐车道，甚至垃圾车上，以提醒选民他与他们站在一起。
He's appearing in small-town diners, fast food drive-thrus, and yes, even a garbage truck to remind voters that he stands with them.
这是一个有力的对比。特朗普用它来建立他的竞选势头，尤其是在那些民调显示他与拜登不相上下，甚至略有领先的摇摆州。
It's a powerful contrast that Trump is using to build his campaign's momentum, especially in battleground states where polls are showing him neck and neck or slightly ahead.
特朗普利用许多美国人对现政府的挫败感，认为这个政府优先考虑政治精英和全球主义理想，而非中产阶级稳定、能源独立和边境安全。
Trump is tapping into the frustration many Americans feel with an administration they see as prioritizing political elites and globalist ideals over middle-class stability, energy independence, and border security.
民调数据进一步助长了特朗普的势头。
Polling data is adding fuel to Trump's momentum.
在亚利桑那、内华达、宾夕法尼亚和密歇根等摇摆州，最近的民调显示共和党选民登记显著增加。共和党在许多地区的新选民增长速度超过了民主党。
In the battleground states of Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania, and Michigan, recent polls show a significant increase in GOP voter registrations, with Republicans gaining new voters faster than Democrats in many areas.
提前投票数据也显示共和党选民的出席率高于预期，这反映出即使在前所未有的法律挑战和媒体审查下，特朗普仍然能够动员支持者。
Early voting numbers also show a higher than expected turnout among Republican voters, reflecting Trump's ability to mobilize his supporters even amid unprecedented legal challenges and media scrutiny.
特朗普的竞选活动成功的将拜登的言论转化为反击，将拜登描绘成冷漠于数百万辛勤工作、纳税和维持美国运转的人们的领袖。
Trump's campaign is effectively turning Biden's words against him, casting the president as out of touch and dismissive of the millions who work, pay taxes, and keep America running.
值得注意的是，拜登、哈里斯竞选活动在堕胎等议题上投注甚多，将其框定为女性和年轻选民的核心关切。
It's worth noting that the Biden-Harris campaign has leaned heavily on issues like abortion, framing it as a central concern for women and young voters.
然而，新的民调数据显示，通胀、边境安全和经济才是大多数美国人的首要关注点，甚至超过社会议题。
However, new polling data suggests that inflation, border security, and the economy are actually the top issues for most Americans, even more so than social issues.
食品、能源和住房价格上涨对家庭造成了沉重打击，政府的政策常被认为是促成因素。
Rising prices for food, energy, and housing have hit families hard, and the administration's policies are often cited as contributing factors.
这些经济关切掩盖了民主党在堕胎和民主议题上动员选民的努力。尽管这些议题对许多人来说很重要，但他们不像财务问题那样直接影响家庭生活。
These economic concerns overshadow the Democrats' efforts to rally voters around issues like abortion and democracy, which, while important to many, don't directly impact families' financial realities in the same way.
副总统哈里斯因其竞选活动的优先事项与选民关切脱节而受到批评。
Vice President Harris has faced criticism for this disconnect between the campaign's priorities and what voters care about most.
在竞选途中，哈里斯不断将特朗普描绘成美国民主的威胁，但选民一致表示，他们的首要关切在于其他方面。
On the trail, Harris continues to cast Trump as a threat to American democracy, yet voters consistently say their primary concerns lie elsewhere.
副总统的讯息似乎与选民脱节，他的演讲经常忽视了许多美国人优先考虑的基本议题。
The vice president's messaging seems out of sync with the electorate, and her speeches often overlook the bread and butter issues that many Americans prioritize.
在最近的一次集会上，哈里斯强调美国正处于关键时刻，但他对未来的愿景主要聚焦于社会议题以及他所称的特朗普带来的威胁。
At a recent rally, Harris emphasized that America is at a crossroads, but her vision for that path forward has largely focused on social issues and the threat she says Trump poses.
然而，许多选民则专注于更具体的关切：能源独立、加强南部边境和降低通胀。
Meanwhile, many voters are focused on more tangible concerns: energy independence, securing the southern border, and bringing down inflation.
特朗普对此的回应是
Trump's response to this?
他承诺恢复能源独立、更加安全的边境，并实施旨在降低家庭成本的轻商政策。
Promising a return to energy independence, a more secure border, and pro-business policies aimed at lowering costs for American families.
这些承诺，加上他在竞选路上的普通人形象，吸引了那些因高物价和疲弱经济感到压力的选民。
These promises, coupled with his everyman image on the campaign trail, are resonating with voters who feel the squeeze of higher prices and a weakened economy.
不仅是中产和劳工阶级注意到这些对比，
It's not just the middle and working classes who are paying attention to these contrasts.
民主党内部联盟似乎也显得分裂。黑人和西裔选民对特朗普表现出开放态度，这在几年前几乎不可想象。
The Democratic coalition itself appears fractured, as Black and Hispanic voters show an openness to Trump that was virtually unheard of just a few years ago.
特朗普通过优先考虑就业和经济稳定而非分裂性文化议题，在这些群体中取得了进展。
Trump has made inroads with these communities by pointing to policies that prioritize jobs and economic stability over divisive cultural issues.
这并不意味着特朗普完全赢得了这些选民，但这一趋势值得注意，显示出拜登和哈里斯可能无法完全依赖统一的基本盘。
This isn't to say Trump has won over these voters entirely, but the trend is notable and suggests that Biden and Harris may not be able to count on a fully unified base.
然而，特朗普所提供的不仅仅是政策承诺，
But it's not just about Trump's policy promises.
在大选来临之际，特朗普为美国人提供了拜登、哈里斯竞选活动难以匹敌的东西：轻松和任性的感觉。
In the lead up to Election Day, Trump is giving Americans something else that the Biden-Harris campaign is struggling to match, a sense of levity and resilience.
特朗普出现在麦当劳和垃圾车上的画面，象征着一位与普通美国人相处自然的领袖。他了解他们的挫败感，并准备好大干一场。
Trump's appearances at McDonald's and on a garbage truck signal a leader who's at ease with everyday Americans, who understands their frustrations and who's ready to roll up his sleeves.
相比之下，哈里斯最近的集会通常由名人和好莱坞精英支持，越来越让人觉得他与数百万希望解决日常生活问题的美国人脱节。
By contrast, Harris's recent rallies, often backed by celebrities and Hollywood elites, feel increasingly out of touch with the millions of Americans who want someone who can actually deliver on issues that impact their day-to-day lives.
特朗普在垃圾车上的象征意义远不仅是竞选噱头，他传达了他讯息的核心。
The symbolism of Trump's garbage truck appearance is more than just a campaign stunt. It speaks to the heart of his message.
他在说：“我不怕弄脏双手，来处理这届政府留下的烂摊子。”
He's saying, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty to deal with the mess left by this administration.
这个简单的形象，一位前总统站在垃圾车上，似乎充分表达了让那些被政治精英遗弃或忽视的选民深感共鸣的讯息。
The simplicity of this image, a former president in a garbage truck, seems to encapsulate a message that resonates deeply with voters who feel discarded or ignored by the political elites.
在最后的冲刺阶段，我们将看看这股势头是否持续。
In the final stretch, we'll see if this momentum holds.
提前投票数据对特朗普来说显示出良好前进，前所未有的共和党人投票率可能会改变摇摆州的选举天平。
Early voting numbers look promising for Trump, with an unprecedented Republican turnout that could shift the balance in battleground states.
民主党已经动员其基本盘，强调提前投票，但共和党选民登记的增长表明，味觉选民或摇摆选民中可能有更多人倾向特朗普，这超出许多民调专家的预期。
The Democrats have mobilized their base, emphasizing early voting, but Republican registration gains indicate that there may be more undecided or swing voters leaning toward Trump than many pollsters anticipated.
随着两个竞选活动为冲刺终点线做准备，选情之高无以复加。
The stakes could not be higher as both campaigns prepare for the big push to the finish line.
拜登和哈里斯押注于美国人会选择他们的社会进步、气候聚焦的议程。
Biden and Harris are betting that Americans will choose their vision of a socially progressive, climate-focused agenda.
特朗普则依赖于回归基本、强边界、低通胀、能源独立和对传统美国价值的尊重。
Trump, meanwhile, is banking on a return to the basics: strong borders, low inflation, energy independence, and a respect for traditional American values.
如果目前的民调趋势显示任何迹象，那就是特朗普的讯息似乎正得到味觉选民和独立选民的支持。
And if current polling trends are any indication, it's Trump's message that appears to be gaining traction with undecided voters and independents.
因此，随着我们接近这次关键的选举，很明显，真正的选择在于哪一种美国愿景能引起最大的共鸣。
So, as we approach this critical election, it's clear that the real choice comes down to which vision of America resonates most.
选民是会与拜登和哈里斯所描绘的现代化美国站在一起，还是会被特朗普呼吁回归安全、繁荣和务实的国家所打动？
Will voters align with Biden and Harris's view of a modernized America, or will they be swayed by Trump's call for a return to a secure, prosperous, and pragmatic nation?
感谢您收看。
Thank you for watching.
随着我们进入可能是我们一生中最具影响力的选举，我们将继续为您带来最新的动态。晚安，保持资讯灵通。
We'll continue to keep you updated on these developments as we head into what may be the most consequential election of our lifetimes. Good night and stay informed.
以上新闻资讯整理自狐狸台，由 iGo News 编辑播报。感谢您的收听，期待与您空中再会。
The above news information is compiled from a Huli channel and presented by iGo News. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your continued company on the air.